Okay guys, we're going to have a look at this one today from Heather.
Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher.
Now,
And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle bar kilos from CZT.
Get it.
I've been looking at this
This is one I've been working on.
And I was...
Now we'll go over the page.
For something
Actually, we'll try and see if we can find another
was on the simple side
without starting a new one.
to do. And I'm like, oh yes. I wanted them, like I said, they're wanting to try
This
this.
will flip around here. Must be a bare page here.
I think there's a similar tangle to this that's a Zentangle original tangle. I didn't.
We have done
we'll
that
take a
one.
look.
We've done that
We
one.
will at some point, and we'll add that.
We can't do the back of the books, you know.
All right, I'm going to do a 9 square because there's a
That was a
bit of
bad
a
one.
technical sequence I can get. Usually, it's much easier to do
Doing 9 squares, so
right in half and then half again. I'm working on.
just looking to see if I can put it somewhere.
And it's turning out all right. Good. Okay. Because there's a
Okay, looks like we're going to have to...
something that Maria has
there's
in
one.
the step out.
There's
Basically, say lift your pen up as little as possible.
Yeah,
And
one stroke.
in the step out, I
Put it
kind
on
of
that one. We'll just ignore that for now.
copy what Maria has, and hopefully you can see it.
1,
but
2, 3,
explaining
9
it here will
squares.
hopefully
So we're doing
have it make sense.
9.
I just did, the basic
I'll
tangle.
put down
Make sure
here.
to take a look at hers. It's in the description section. Both of ours will be.
Yeah,
Hers, I always list it as for more inspiration because that's exactly why I put it there. All right, so the initial stroke of this, and what we're going to do is we'll end up going diagonal, but I'm going to start here in this, let me move it here.
sometimes you should use a ruler,
I
guys.
could just move my camera, but
Not too bad.
why do that when I can
About
slide
5.
off of?
By 5,
We joke on our tangle time. Both Mom and I both will accidentally. You just get in the zone and you start pulling it closer to you, or just in a different direction, and it's really funny. It's like I need to go back to putting my. I used to have like with a pencil or something. I would mark.
Actually, we could do another one. I'll just stick with a 3.
That's no fun either. All right.
We'll see
So
what we come up with, okay?
And just
Come up
watch.
with a 9.
It's like a giant. We could think of it as an enormous, continuous flat S shape. That's. I'm going to go with that. So I'm just going to trace this line here, and then we're going to curve around, and then we're going to. It's like once you hit.
So we're curving, are we? Okay.
Side of the
I thought we were
box,
ball pointing.
and you turn around
We're
and come back, and you want to
curving.
make this really thin.
Thin as
And
possible.
when you take a look at her
Okay, this
step
is
out, it is this is a food related one, so you just have to read and see it. And oh my goodness, this one's going to land out just right. Okay, so when you get to the end here, and you're to this
you go the
red
opposite
line,
way.
you're going to trace over it and then come down to the next one, and then just continue.
Okay.
Now, of course, at some point, you have to adjust your hand. But I get the idea, of having it be continuous. And wow, this is going to be amazing. See, I just had to adjust.
And we come down to the next one and then the next one, do we?
But you get the idea. It's kind of a big, continuous thought.
Got that? Takes a lot to fill up one of these squares.
And then, once you have the end, you have the end. And that's it. And then,
Now
so
we
these
come
ones on the
down.
end, these are just going to be
And we come
by themselves.
down to the next one. Okay, easy peasy.
But if it was a bigger grid, you get the idea. And again,
we nearly went wrong then.
it all depends on
Yeah,
how your
and
grid's
we-
laid out and whatnot.
And we kind of go back the other way. Okay,
So do it this way.
we'll go up.
And since we're tracing over the bar line, or at least close, starting out, that's why I'm doing it, so that way it's consistent. It's similar to if you've done the.
I'm using a
Tempo
PN
That's
pen.
one of the things that we do in
I
there.
think I'm
where we
using
trace
black.
over
I could be
the-
using burgundy
whatever lines are there,
too.
because that one you can do it in a
I'm not
it's
too
kind of
sure
more
what
like
the
a
colour.
triangular
Let me know
grid,
what you think it is, guys.
or kind of a wonky grid, but we trace over
Mine's a
the
very
lines because
wonky
it
grid.
creates a neat effect versus just, rounding off the
Oh,
corners.
no, we don't.
All right,
We
so
come
once you have this done in a grid,
down.
and by the way, that kind of looks cool too, right? Then it's rinse and repeat, but we're gonna go the opposite, or
The opposite way.
it's not opposite direction, perpendicular direction. Opposite direction would end up being the same in this, I think, right?
Yes.
I think you know.
Not so easy to do, actually.
So we're going left to right, then we're gonna go
Especially keep straight lines.
whichever
Mine are
way
very
you start
wonky.
with this. So we're just going opposite. Is opposite the right word? Put it in the comments. Let me
How does she go up the other way now? Hang on, I may have to go back a bit.
It's been a long day. And I'm happy to be tangling. Oh, and actually this one, so I could decide, I'm just going to come up to this one and continue.
Now that ends
do
that
earlier.
road.
Let's go slow down so we can
Mine ends. Hang on, let me just go back a little bit.
trace over it and then come
Trace
down to the
over it.
next one. And then just continue.
Yeah, we've done that.
Now,
And she
of course,
goes
at
up to
some
this
point,
top
we
square,
have
doesn't
to
she?
adjust the grid. You get the
Hang on,
idea.
hang on.
Idea, of having it be continuous. And wow, this is going to be
Down.
amazing.
We've done that.
Just for my hand.
Down. Down
But
we
you get the idea.
go.
It's kind of a big,
Down we go.
continuous
We're going down. Like that, like I did.
And then, once you have the end, you have the end.
This is one of these ones I don't know what the
And
point
then,
is.
so these ones on the end, these are just going to be.
Okay, we're just going up. Okay. We're just going up and around. Okay. Try
But
and
if it
go
was a
to the
bigger
top.
grid, you get the idea.
Right
again,
up to the top of that
It all
line there.
depends on how your grid's laid out and whatnot. And let's just turn this and do
And we
this.
do the other side the other way.
And since we're tracing over the bar line, or at least close, starting out, that's why I'm doing it, so that way it's consistent. It's similar to if you've done the tangle and Zeppel. That's one of the things that we do in that one, where we trace over the whatever lines are there, because that one you can do it in a, it's kind of more like a triangular grid, or kind of a wonky grid, but we trace over the lines because it creates a neat effect versus just
back down to this one down
rounding
here.
off the corners type of thing. All right, so once you have this done in a grid, and by the way, that kind of looks cool too, right? Then it's rinse and repeat, but we're going to go the opposite, or it's not opposite direction, perpendicular direction. Opposite direction would end up being the same in this, I think, right? Okay, I think you know what I mean. All right, so so we're going left to right, then we're going to go up and down. Whichever way you start like this. So we're just going opposite. Is opposite the right word? Put it in the comments.
Yeah, then you do the opposite way.
It's been a long day. And I'm happy to be tangling.
Now, there we go.
Oh, and actually this one, so I could decide, I'm just going to come up to this one and continue.
Yeah,
I didn't do that
I'm
earlier.
Do that
Let's
anyway.
slow down so we can try to hit those lines. Going slow helps. Well, this one, sometimes you just end up there, and that's okay. And so actually, I'm going to shift it, just switching so that way it's easier for you to see, yes, the pen. But this is a nice one that you can just kind of lose yourself in, because you don't have to think about anything except back and forth. Although it is kind of like it's pen.
You are thinking about it, but you're trying to.
And
keep in the line.
I'm going to take artistic license and say, if you end up in the wrong direction for it to, it's like here is perfect. Oh, I can continue and I can go on here if this was a blank one. But like this one, I ended up coming down here. Just, it's okay. And then just start a new one. But the idea, and I like the concept of just a continuous line, back and forth, maybe thinking a rocking motion, because that would be soothing. And, keeping them kind of tight.
Right.
It is just a nice tangle. And it could be a nice background, or even a texture, really. So the shading, as I was looking at her samples, of course, there's lots of ways you could do it. You could,
Just inside it.
put graphite
We've
over
got
the
a
grid
problem
and leave
there,
it at that.
don't we?
But I was looking at hers and trying to
We're
figure out,
We're right. We're right.
because it didn't seem necessarily to have a
I think
rhyme or
I'm using
reason,
burgundy.
but at the same time it did. And so I'm going to leave
Oh,
this
that's all right.
with you.
Burgundy's
So
okay
you
to
put
use.
on
It
the
was
ends
there.
where
It
we
was
have
sitting there, wasn't
the
it?
little,
Yeah, this one's got to go this way.
and I'm
There
just
we
going to
go.
pick one.
Up.
So like here, I'm putting it on the top, and I'm not going to put it on the bottom. You could do both if you wanted to, but it kind of turned out neat. And you could do that on all of them if you wanted to. So you could do it all the same, or you could change it up and put some on a different. I'm going to just do them all the same. So all the ones that are going up, I put it on the top. Oh, and then I can turn the tile and do the
There
same
we
thing.
go. That looks okay. Maybe not the neatest
Because
of
it
neat.
looks like she only
We'll
had it
tidy up in a
on
minute. Now,
couple.
let's get our
And
graphite
it looks
pencil
really,
and we
really
just
neat.
go in.
So now with the torture knife, you just remember as long as you can see where did I put
We
this,
just go in like that.
and then just bring that
It
graphite
doesn't
down
have
a
to be
little
the
bit with a little
same.
circular motion. And you can always go back and add more. Always remembering that. Right, then turn it. And actually, it's a little easier if you are doing it on, like I did on the top. Then I'm not having to search for where is that graphite. Oh,
That's the burgundy. That wasn't the black.
look at how neat that looks. It's like uneven. It gives it a lot more
I don't know
character
why
than
that wants to flop down. She's
no,
in a
take
different
it back.
spot, I think.
Different character. Because if I put it here, we do that a lot, right? Where we, and then this would be curved. It will look neat though, because then it will look more like a weave. But this is just kind of a little extra interesting. And I'm going to go a little bit darker just to bring it out a little bit more. And again, this is what I like to, I seem to have like a certain amount of graphite I put on at the beginning, and then it can always go darker. And when you go back and do it a little bit darker, you don't necessarily have to bring it out as far because you've already created a gradient. Sometimes I want to just keep the darkest part. Oh, look at how neat that looks. I want to keep the darkest part at this point. I don't need to, like I said, I don't need to bring it out. That's my
Oh, come on, Heather. Move your tile down, woman.
bring it out partways because you've already built.
Got a tile in the wrong spot.
Get 'em out.
Somehow she's got a tile.
I do talk to a lot of people that are hesitant on the shading or afraid to go too dark, and this is one way you can do it. Go light, and then
Okay.
take a look.
This doesn't look bad. I'll
You
just
need to add a little extra.
do it a little bit slower the next time.
You just do it in little stages, like baby steps, and see how neat that looks now. Having the graphite. Oh, this is just my. Oh no, I didn't. It's just my light not showing. No, I needed to blend that a little bit better. I was just seeing that line. There we go. Yeah. How neat. How neat. So I'm glad I did it that way. It just creates, like I said, it just creates a different effect. And it's neat. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, would love to have a thumbs up or a click like.
Always, Heather.
And feel free to share it. And if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, and I should preface it with, if you like it enough to see more, I would appreciate if you think about subscribing to the channel.
Yes,
In the
subscribe to
description
her
section,
channel.
I mentioned that already. for the
Subscribe
step
to my
outs.
channel,
Below that, ways to
guys.
connect with me. So if you enjoy
I
my
want to get
style,
up to the 1,000 mark.
just so you know,
Come
I
on.
do online
We'll do a
classes
giveaway, hey?
almost twice a week.
We'll
Just
do a
depends on the
giveaway
week.
if I reach
I have a lot that are
1,000
free.
this
I do
year.
have some that are paid, so that way I can
Come
keep
on
the lights on
over.
and keep myself in pens and pencils and
Subscribe,
crayons
tell me
and
who
paper and
you
everything.
are. I don't know how
And
I'll
afford
put
the
you in a
time
book,
too, I
though.
suppose. That's probably most important. But anyway, you can check
Maybe
that
we'll
out
get
on my
a
website.
big
And if you have
jar or
questions,
something.
of course, there's ways to connect
Their
with me. We
names. So let me
also
know who you
have
are.
a wonderful
You're a newbie.
Facebook community. So if you happen to be on Facebook,
We'll get a jar
the
or
link is there
something
in the description
description,
section.
hey?
Would love to have you join. I do have a couple of required questions, and I am not afraid to decline people for joining if they don't bother to answer the questions. Sometimes I think maybe they're just checking out to see what they can
That's
see.
my one,
And then,
guys, in the
so
burgundy.
anyway, I do ask a couple questions just because I want to ensure a great tone for the group, and would love to have you join us. It's a fun, supportive group. We have a lot of great people on there. So, with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.
Okay, well, that was simple, guys. Just up, down, up, down. Have fun.